Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome to another episode of the Dreamland. We're back after like 15 weeks of being gone. I do apologize about that. But we're back as usual. We have Jason, aka Dark Horse. You might remember Roman, aka Santetsu, back from I think the first episode. And we're also joined today by Bacorn, or Ben, you might know him, who's our TO community organizer for the blossoming Indiana scene. Is that the best way to put it?
That works for me.
So we got a lot to talk about, so I guess might as well just get into it. We haven't actually met back up since Apex/Snoza, that incredible weekend. There was also Smash and Splash, which we'll talk about, which was, where was it? Illinois? Something like that.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere in Illinois.
It was an suburb of Chicago.
Oh, okay. AKA all of Illinois and part of Indiana. And then we'll talk about online play, just because we have to do it at some point. So we have a couple online warriors, myself and Zantetsu. We have, I'm sure Jason will tell us about Shears' harsh stances on the matter. And I don't know. So let's get into it. Jason, did you go to either one of these?
I went to Snosa.
You wanna give me your take on it? How was it?
Yeah, Snosa's awesome. I mean, we had like a huge number of top players. Who do we have? So we had Boom, Isaiah, Mariguas, Tacos, Kiro, Dexter. Dexter came, and then we had like Hero Pioneer, like local SoCal guys, and then who else? Baltimore. 3 people from Baltimore traveled. Like me, Bark, and Shears. Steve came over from New Hampshire.
Jaime was there.
Yeah, we had some a bunch of Arizona people. Kimmy Maru came down from NorCal. No, I mean, that was a pretty stacked tournament, and it was cool because it was we hit over 100 people, and it was exclusively 64 tournament. Yeah, because we had some registrants at the door.
I thought we barely missed because it was like 98 re-reg.
Yeah, and then I think we ended up at like 102 or 107 or something like that.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, one of them was like this little kid that I just like beat down in pools. I let him take me to last stock every time though, so it was okay.
That's somehow worse.
He was having fun.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. A bunch of us, we kind of like flipped between LA and Anaheim during the week because there's like the 2 houses we were staying in. We had a low tier tournament. We had a YOLO tournament. We had a YOLO teams tournament.
Wait, you guys had a low tier?
Yeah, we did a low tier Thursday night before Snosa. I think it was Thursday night. And if you have not watched it, I think it's on YouTube, but Grand Finals featured Boom, his Ness against Isaiah's Link, so it was pretty exciting. Definitely. Oh, and Marigua's commentary. So I highly recommend watching that. Then the tournament itself was pretty awesome. We had to do round robin pools for singles and doubles, and top 16, best of 5. So yeah, like the good treatment.
That's pretty sick. What? I'm just out of curiosity. What was the cutoff for the low tier?
It's Luigi, Samus, DK, Link, Ness.
Oh, just the bottom 5.
Yeah, bottom 5.
Okay, that's pretty. No one's.
That's how you should do it.
Yeah,
like that's how it should be done.
The first like half of the bracket featured a lot of DK Dittos. There are a lot of DK Dittos, but then.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I love DK." It's like, no, shut up. He just has the best taunts. I know this trick.
No, DK's awesome.
No, DK's great.
DK's great.
I have no respect for low tier characters.
I played Boom and DK Dittos, and we had these like really long games. Like they just shouldn't have lasted that long. And everyone was kind of annoyed when I won game 2 because it meant there had to be another game. And then he just 5-stocked me, so it was fine.
If only there was a solution to that.
No.
Oh, come on. All right, whatever. We won't. Not today. We'll have one day where we don't talk about stock.
What a solution to. Yeah, then we just would have drawn out each stock longer.
It would have been longer than 5 stocks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because I would have been like, oh crap, I only have 2 stocks left now. I have to take longer.
Yeah, you got me there. It's logarithmic.
I did. Yeah, that's logic.
So stupid.
And also, so Wednesday night before the tournament, they had their weekly Wednesday tournament. So
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so we had a tournament Wednesday. We had low tier Thursday. We had. Did we do anything Friday besides just play? I don't know if we had anything official on Friday. Oh, maybe Friday was YOLO teams. Maybe that was Saturday night. It's hard to keep track.
You said YOLO teams.
Yeah, we did YOLO teams. Random teammates.
That's intense.
A computer team won a match.
That's
We
legit.
We didn't want to give anyone a bye, so one team had to play computer, or a couple teams had to play computers, and a full computer team won a match.
It's just 1 stock each, right?
Yep. Yeah, you never know. You punch that box and it blows up.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's items. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. There were a lot of shenanigans in YOLO for the singles and the doubles.
Did they do shields and shells?
Not like exclusively shields and shells.
Okay. Oh, did you guys? Was that for Snoza that they did the here's 5 different counter picks?
No, that was just like a weekly thing. They did one Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which week it was, but
I won't look it up, so don't worry.
Okay.
Well, that's super sick. So, any issues?
Oh yeah, Jaime was there. I knew there was someone I was forgetting.
I told you that.
He said that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Dude, you never listen to me.
I don't listen to you.
That's
Sorry, he's not worth listening to.
Oh, dude, Penn, you just got on here. God damn it. Wow. Well, now that I've been put on blast, Jesus. Any issues any snags that Snoza had?
The venue was really hot. But it was like 100 whatever degrees there, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We found out that in a very hot room, my computer can't stream at 60 FPS for more than like an hour and a half.
Yeah, makes sense.
What else?
Well,
we really didn't have any problems. Everything went pretty smoothly. The bracket ran. Everything got done relatively on time, considering that we started a half hour late both days.
Yeah.
And we just started late because people, can't get their act together.
Yeah, I have a lot of strong feelings about that, but it's just across the board. I feel like that's just an intrinsic problem with tournaments.
Yeah, and it sucks because I played Ultimate Frisbee all through college, and it was always nothing ever started on time. It didn't matter if it was the national tournament, nothing started on time, and I feel like it's the same thing, and it's really annoying.
I hate it so much.
I hate when things aren't on time. It drives me nuts.
Well, luckily, I feel like we've gotten past. I feel like there's a point of volatility. That's the word. That you can't. You're look, we just need the people to show up. If we're 30 minutes late, that's fine. But once you get to a certain point where it's the tournament's gonna be great regardless of if people are late and we just have to put them into losers bracket or whatever.
It depends on the tournament. SmashCon, it's gonna have a hard start time.
Yeah.
And if you're not there within 15 minutes of when it starts, you're DQ'd. Just ask Star King.
But that's why he was DQ'd?
No, it's because he got up on a table and started yelling at people.
Yeah, that's the story I heard. Yeah, but that's as someone who ends up having to run whatever tournament he's at, locals, regionals, that type of thing. Oh man, it makes me so sick. I just show up on time. We're gonna DQ you. Things can't run late. We need to get going. It'd be so nice to just be able to enforce that across the board so that you can.
Oh yeah, I mean we DQ'd a bunch of people at Genesis, but we gave them a decent amount of time to show up.
Yeah, if you can't be 20 minutes on time, then.
Yeah, I DQ'd God.
For what?
This guy in my pool. His tag was God.
Whoa.
I DQ'd him.
Yeah.
Fair
Not
enough.
very religious,
No
really.
one's above the rules.
Nobody's-
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
Heat thing, the first tournament that Roman went to, at least that I. To my
Oh
knowledge,
no.
Oh my god, it was a mess, man. It
I
was,
had sweat dripping from my hair. At least, like, there was a drop coming off my hair every second or two. Every second or two.
they
Yeah, my smoke detector's going off. I'll be right back.
yeah, dude, deal with it. Dude, this tournament they didn't know how much power they could use, I guess, and so they couldn't run air conditioning. I don't know if they could run fans or not, but like we arrived at the time they told us to arrive at, and there was just god damn, your typing is so loud, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a mechanical keyboard.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Sorry. I can mute it when I type.
Oh my god, no, there was so as Smash 64 players we couldn't play at all because like we couldn't warm up or anything until right before the event happened because they didn't have the power for us. It was 100 degrees out. I didn't tell Roman this because I didn't know Roman at the time, but
I sat there by myself doing nothing from I think it was like 10 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. until the tournament started. I just sat there.
This is a tiny. Okay, this is a tiny town, and across the street there was a library, like a tiny library, beautiful air conditioning in there. We had the best Minnesota players sweet talked his way into giving us like their one conference room, and we just set up and like 4 of us played Smash there for a few hours. But we didn't want to tell everyone because we didn't want everyone like coming over and all that.
Yeah.
Population of 4,300 people. That was the
That's-
town.
That's 10 times the size of my hometown
Oh
now.
my god, Jesus Christ. That's awful. So yeah.
My graduating class was 10% of that.
Oh wow.
My high school
my graduating
graduating
class was
high
like
school.
80 people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One thing I forgot to mention about Snosa, Team Mayhor lost a set.
Yeah, that's true.
To Isaiah Kiro or someone
No, to Team Mexico.
How did Kiro do, by the way? Because he's not here, so we can kind of
Kiro did okay. I mean, he knew he was getting carried,
yeah.
and he said every time he made a mistake, he could just feel like Isaiah looking at him. But no, it was Mariguas and Dexter. They took a set. They took a set off Team Mayhor, and then Jaime switched to Mario and engaged turbo mode, and they won.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's to say about that. I mean, Dexter's a good teams player. I don't really know how good Mariguas is as teams, but he's great.
I mean,
at singles.
they're both solid. They go double Pika. They don't really do much like team stuff. They're just both really good.
But that's gonna work.
We almost took a game off them, but next time.
Almost. Let's talk about Apex. Steph isn't here to make sure that we do it, but let's do it anyway. I actually
Yes, he was all about it, too.
Yeah, it's honestly, as far as I can tell, so I had serious reservations about Apex, not the 64 part of it, but just the tournament series in general. I was one of the people that was not fully on board. I was waiting, and I wasn't saying anything bad, but I didn't have hopes for it at all.
Yeah.
But across the board, I've heard great things about this year's Apex. So, good on them for turning that ship around.
I guess it was under different management as well, so.
Kinda.
But I mean, at that point, was it just kind of? Was it only just a few people that they swapped out, or?
The major issue. I mean, people didn't want Alex Strike there. Was the main
Yeah,
thing.
that was the biggest, probably the only biggest issue. But
yeah, I mean, there were the people that's in charge of. I forget his name. It starts with a B, right? But I can't remember his name. Was on it before and kind of took it over.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Nintendo has always been on it, as far as I know. I don't know if he was on this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the issue is always like, if you're really different, then why are you taking the name if it's already tainted?
That's what I was getting to. I didn't understand that if they were trying to go for a different route, why choose the same name? Because I mean, it's goes both ways. You can go ahead and get people interested because that name is so well known, but it's also known for a bad reason at the same time. So it's kind of goes hand in hand.
There's no such thing as bad marketing, though. Even with a bad name, people recognize the name, and people still sold out.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest reason that I heard that sounded legitimate, so I don't know if it's true, but it sounded it, was outreach. So Apex has always been good at reaching out to sponsors.
They do get sponsors.
So I think that's kind of the reason for keeping Apex is because it makes sense from a sponsorship perspective. Like, hey, we've had this brand for this long. It's been growing. This is what we expect from this year. And you can kind of say, I don't know, it looks better. Even if they're like, well, how
that's true.
They're
just going to look at, I mean, they're not going to see as deep in as the troubles that Apex had. So that's a good point.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's what sounded legitimate to me. So.
Yeah. It seemed to have run well, though. I mean, it looked good from my end.
Yeah, so Stranded took it. I mean, I didn't watch or I didn't see it, so I don't know if anybody knows how convincing it looks, but
I don't think he dropped the game.
That's not true at all.
Okay.
He and Star King met in winners bracket. I can't semis or quarters. I can't remember.
Looks like semis. Sorry, I have it pulled up right now. It was 3-1 then. And then
Star King looked really good in that first game, and then Stranded just downloaded him and just went with it from there.
Yeah, so the story of Stranded always tends to be that, sometimes I don't know if it's tournament nerves or what is it, but people can get into his head. That's what I hear at least, and it doesn't look like this happened, or maybe he's just way better than everyone else here. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any better insight. You would think that I would know these things as someone who puts this show on, but I usually just hope that you guys know and I can just ask. Rob came out of retirement, it looks like, and
I've always said he's not retired.
He's just tired.
Yeah,
just tired.
God, God damn it, Rob. I feel like Rob and I are. So my Smash New Year's resolution. You guys remember those? They said, "What's your Smash resolution?" And I said, "I want to be best friends with Stranded." It has not worked out at all. We're no closer than we started. In fact, we're probably further away. But Joey and I get along really well, and I think Rob and I have a blossoming relationship. So it's just a matter of time until I make my way into that New York heart it is. But Star King pulled out or did well. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that's surprising that happened here. I guess the best thing is that it gives us more data if we really want to rank these players. But it was an Eastern regional that ran really well. It's kind of the best thing I can say about it. And East Coast is one of the strongest regions, I would say. So
East Coast plus CCG.
Yeah.
that was the tournament.
Yeah. So.
Did anyone come from the West Coast? Because that'd be kind of funny.
I don't recognize anyone that went from the West Coast.
Probably maybe some Melee people.
Yeah. No one that I recognize.
Oh.
Ooh, Seta beat Malachi.
Did Nintendo play 64?
He didn't make it into top 32 if he did, so.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he did.
I guess he didn't.
Yeah, right. I was like, you better not.
Yeah.
Did he play Melee? I don't remember seeing him on stream. I mean, I only watched a little bit, but.
Yeah, I guess I just figured he did, but there were a couple other tournaments.
He played another thing that we were like, oh, Nintendo's coming out of retirement for Gommel, I think. I think that's what he played.
Yeah, he was there for Melee.
Where's NTA from?
Georgia.
Okay, because NTA did pretty well. Looks like he got into top 8.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so just for people that don't have the bracket in front of them, aka everyone but me, came out Stranded, Star King, Fire Blaster, Cobra, and then you have NTA and DFX. Does anybody know DFX?
He's from New York.
Okay. That's all.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and they also.
I would have assumed Texas.
They also had Japan.
Right.
I mean, CTG, NACL, LL. It just seemed appropriate that he'd be from that area. I guess NCA is Georgia. It's close enough
Yeah.
to Texas.
Seta made it into top 8. Online player. What? He's like, Seta's like my Fox mentor. Really just like, I'm like, Seta, give me advice on whatever. And he's like, I don't know if I'm qualified. And then he gives me like 4 paragraphs of advice. so
4 paragraphs of unqualified advice.
Yeah. It's amazing advice. I take it to heart every time. Yeah, so way to go, Apex. Turning it around. I don't know what happened in doubles, if anything. If they had doubles. Do they have doubles?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think Star King and Cobra did doubles.
Oh, yeah.
But now you better watch out. Kiro Stranded, SmashCon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are they actually teaming?
Yeah.
We here.
Is that going to work?
I wonder
at
if they're
all?
going to train against CPUs and teams as well.
Oh, dude, I'll teach him. I'll teach him a week before SmashCon.
Train against CPU teams.
Yeah. Cobra Star King took it over Fire Blaster Zeppelin. And I don't know of any other team that really got far. Mr. Sir got kind of far. Seta got kind of far. Yeah. Sweet. So that's enough about those things because we've been gone for a while. We got stuff to talk about. Ben.
What?
Smash and Splash.
I wasn't there.
What? That's like your.
I gave my registration to Salt Sizzle,
Oh my god. This is.
and he had that sick victory over Combo Blaze in pools.
Yeah.
And then that sick loss to him in bracket.
Oh.
So sick, man.
I'm
As
not-
Drunk Acorn says, no one can beat Salt Sizzle.
I thought we agreed. Yeah, I thought we agreed to divide up the region. I get Heartland, Midwest. You get like the Great Lakes area. We don't have anyone. Who's in the South that's holding down the fort? I don't know. People got to figure that out. But I feel like we
Maybe-
divided. What?
Maybe Zantetsu and I will meet him at What the Fox.
Yeah, right.
I'm so close to the south, but there's just nobody in the Oklahoma and Arkansas areas that I can really work with to even get something forming. But
Oh.
I'm just like, I'm so close to the Arkansas state line, man.
Man. I would
I'm
feel
just so
bad for you,
close.
but you live in Missouri, so
You don't feel bad for me, or you do?
I don't. I mean,
Oh yeah, why?
well, it's just like.
He's a dick.
I do feel bad that you have to live in Missouri and close to Arkansas.
I mean,
That's
it's a lot better in Iowa, but it's
Let's not get into
it's
this.
not
I'm
much,
gonna
though.
Kick your ass.
Yeah, let's not get into talking about states that no one cares about.
Oh, whatever, Maryland. Jesus Christ. Smash and Splash. Notable people that came. Yeah, so you should. How do you not know about this, Ben? This is your.
I know enough. I just wasn't
All right.
there.
Wizro, Bark Sanchez, Salt Sizzle, Combo Blaze, Night Fox.
Meerkat ran it.
Yeah, Meerkat, Wisconsin TO. Also someone who I guess we've been like. You guys ever like kind of talk trash to someone that you're like, we're gonna meet pretty soon, so let's like kind of start talking a little bit of trash, but nothing too serious because we don't have immediate.
You mean
plans.
every freaking time I talk to you?
like what I did to Colorado.
Yeah, right, to Colorado. Well, Colorado, they're like, hey, we are coming, and then you can like talk immediate trash.
Yeah.
But if it's like, we're gonna meet sometime, so like, hey man, you're probably not that good. Like you're like just kind of pussyfooted. Me and Meerkat have been doing
Baiting
that.
them in.
Yeah, we've been doing that for like a year now. Or we're like, Wisconsin's not even good enough to be on our power rankings, and it's like, yeah, okay, like that's fine. Like we don't really know each other, so still haven't met him, but he's doing good work. It looks like actually, organizing a scene, running Smash and Splash.
He does a good job. He's very, and he's a good house guest as well. Because I housed him for Rest Town.
It's just great guy, great parenting.
Yes,
A real gentleman.
So, Jim, you didn't go to that tournament in Minnesota then, did you?
The one today, I did
Yeah.
not because they said there's a start
Because you're
time.
here.
A start time of 6 p.m. And I
on
was
Sunday.
like, if it starts immediately, I can do that and make it back in time so I have enough sleep for work. And
Yeah,
they were
but
like, yeah, we want to start early. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm out. Plus, I didn't have anyone to go with, and I don't want to
that
drive.
long of a drive by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yep.
3.5 hours, but I don't
Oh,
want to.
I do that all. I do that every month, man.
I know, but it's like, what? I would drive that long to play against you, Roman. I would drive that long for
Yeah.
someone that was like, if someone's gonna come and beat me, I will drive there.
Yeah.
But
I guess PD wasn't showing up though, was he?
nah, I think he has some stuff that he's going through right now. So like he's out of Smash for the moment. So
Fair enough.
yeah, and it's like I like Danny. He's good,
Yeah.
but our set count isn't in favor of Danny at the moment. So you can travel to me, Danny. Yeah, so I don't know. It seems. What do people say? Because I had one person go to Smash and Splash, and he didn't do as well as he should have, in my opinion, at least. But
I only heard positive things. It seemed to run well. It was at a water park, which was fun, I guess. Hipster lost his controller though, so that was not good. Because Hipster came down to Indy for Rest Town, and then it was a week. He just hung out with us for a week, and then went to Smash and Splash.
dude, I was very disappointed that this sounds really bad. So Hipster and Night Fox had to play each other, and my boy Ian plays Kirby. His best matchup is against Fox because he pretty much only plays me.
Right.
And I was like, he can beat Hip. I know that he can beat Hipster. And then Hipster pulls it out and beats Night Fox. So Night Fox just comes and just creams Ian. It's like, dude, come on. You could have, like, you had so much to win there. You had so much that you could, like, to gain, and you got nothing out of it. But, yeah, so without even looking at it, I'm almost certain that Wizrobe won.
Yeah, he did. Bark, I think maybe took 1 or 2 games out of the whole thing.
Yeah, it looks like it was 3-1, 3-1.
Okay, yeah. When they played the first time, I think it was 3-1 as well.
Mhm.
Am I right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I remember something. Awesome. But a lot of good sets, and
Ooh,
I
Salt Sizzle
think-
almost beat Combo.
yes, Salt Sizzle beat Combo in pools, and then got sent down to losers by Bark, and then had to beat Night Fox to get to Combo,
Mhm.
and then Combo made a 2-0 comeback.
Wait,
Like-
2-0 comeback.
Yeah, well, Salt Sizzle was up 2 games, none, and then he came back and won 3 in a row.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dang,
I just say things weird.
that's well, that's a bummer, man. That sucks for Salt, but whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah,
No one can beat Salt Sizzle.
dude, I'm not up to date on the Indiana memes yet. I feel like I post
Alright.
more in your Facebook page than anyone except for Alex when he's advertising for tournaments. That doesn't live in Indiana.
I think so. I kind of take pride, and I think that our Facebook page is probably one of the most active regional Facebook pages.
It's fairly entertaining. Well, you have a lot of people that just post like stupid stuff. Dazit mains
Yeah, I was about to say.
from there.
That's it.
There's a few people that I don't remember, like their names escape me and like their work escapes me. But
The work.
bunch
That's
of
it, meme.
yeah, right. Just a bunch of meme lords and shit posters. Really a great culture overall.
Well, it's what we have.
So Jason, how did Josh feel about? Did you talk to him about that tournament?
About Smash and Splash?
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it much. It was alright. Like, he got to play Wizrobe.
Is he close to
Combo.
beating him? I mean,
No.
okay, never mind.
So there was one, like, he did take a game, and I don't really remember much about it, but after that, it was like, he was just always, like, a little bit behind. I mean, And then there was Combo. I mean, Combo really should have beat him.
Yeah, so how good is... I don't have any sense of how good Combo is. I get the sense that he's the best in Chicago. Arguably, maybe.
Yeah, as far as I know.
But, like, I don't
He's
really...
just like, he has these moments where you're just like, dude, what are you doing? But outside of those moments, he's really good.
Yeah, I feel like I see him playing, like, 4 different characters and just doing random... I'll be like, oh yeah, I think he has a Falcon, or like, oh yeah, I think he has a Pikachu, and then I'll look at like the characters he played, and it's like, why did you choose to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he mostly just plays Falcon and DK.
Mm-hmm.
But like against the Pikachu, like his Falcon's really good. But again, he'll just like, I don't know, sometimes he'll have it like locked down, and then he'll just like go for something weird and then lose.
That's exactly what he did at Boss Battle 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
That's that old school meta. Just going for whatever you can.
you gotta hit him with the mix-ups. You know, you don't want to be predictable.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that's good. That sounds like it was fairly. The only reason I didn't go to it is because it was like, yo, I have to work at like 7:30 in the morning, and I have to be sharp for that, so I can't be like. Can I get home in time? And my buddies were like, oh, well, we're not sure, like, what the plans are. We might do that. I was like, all right, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I already have to wrangle you nerds for this podcast. I'm not doing it for something that someone else is driving to. So, oh my god. Yeah, let's talk about my special adventure that I'm going on.
Let's.
Okay, so I feel like I've mentioned it, but here's what's going on, guys. End of July, I'm going to a Colorado tournament, Revelations. So I'm flying out. I will be there for in Chicago, end of July. Or not Chicago, Denver. I'll be in Denver from July 29th through the August 5th. I'm going to be flying to New York City, hanging out with Jimmy Joe for a couple days. Then I'll be hanging out with Kiro for a couple days, try to train up. Come hang out with Jason and company in Baltimore from, I forget the exact date. Basically like a week spanning, a few days before and a few days after SmashCon. And then I'm going to Indiana, and I'm hanging out with the Indiana crew and doing some work out there. So, if you guys are in the areas, you should come out, play me, hang out. I'll teach you how to play Fox Dittos. And if you're not in the area... Ooh, actually, I see people doing for like major tournaments having like a Snapchat type thing. Like, you can subscribe to it, and then I'll just try to keep that up to date. I don't know. I'll maybe post about that and see what people think about something like that, and just kind of keep people up to date on what's going on there. I've already bought my plane tickets, so it's a little late for adding things onto that adventure, but really, like, I have 5 weeks off, and I am leaving. I think I could leave a little bit earlier, but beyond that, I'm like getting home, and then the next like Monday, I'm gone, or like I have to start my stuff up again. So, yeah. So
you should make like a little graphic that has like a picture of a map and where you're going and what dates you'll be there. So
yeah, like on this or
do it.
Like,
do it on Paint.
yeah,
dude,
do it on Paint.
It's
a 64 way.
Dude, it's been a hot minute since I've made some stuff in Paint for the Smash community.
But yeah, if you actually make something like that and then post it, people can see where you're going to be and when you're going to be there. So it'll be a lot easier to like figure stuff out.
I'd say if you were in, the one thing that I think people should, well, two things I think people should come out to, obviously besides Super Smash Con, Colorado. I think Colorado's a lot better than you would expect, considering that they're in Colorado.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Right?
I'm really excited to see how they do at a major, just to see where their general placement is, because they certainly surprised me when I played.
Yeah, Mad Rush is number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's not just one of them that's good. There's like a good 3 or 4 or 5 that could give me a run for my money and stuff. So
So
Yeah.
everybody but Mad Rush then. So what you're saying.
Well, man, I didn't even think about that. I'm sure Mad Rush would give me for my money too, but you know what I mean.
Dude, Mad Rush, you just never know, man. Like, he's within like a couple months, I think. He beat Bark and then lost to Stud Still. So you never know.
Well, he's Actually, I was
Sounds
gonna
like my
say
kind of
I was
play
gonna make
style.
some sort of joke about character matchups, but he plays Falcon, I think, right? So
Yeah,
it's not even a
Falcon.
joke. It actually might be related to the single character matchups. God, well, that's that'll be.
Oh man, I forgot.
Yeah.
All right, so this is at Snosa, and I had to play Mad Rush in pools. So I had this plan because I knew I was going to play Mad Rush, and there was a really good chance I was going to play Wookiee in bracket. That ended up not happening, but the Mad Rush thing. So I made like these little picture frames. Actually, do I have one? All right.
Just right
I
at
have-
his feet already.
Well, it's because I brought two, but I ended up not playing Wookiee, so I didn't use the second one. But it's just this. I got wrecked by Dark Horse, and it's first.
That's
But
cool.
and I got like an old Polaroid camera, like off Craigslist. And so after I beat Mad Rush, I took a selfie with him with the Polaroid, and I signed it and I put it in the picture frame and I gave it to him. It's like when you go down a roller coaster, you know. It's like I got splashed at Splash Mountain.
Oh my
So
God.
now he always has that to remember it by.
Wow, you're so very generous of you.
I'll do that. I'll do that to you when we play each other.
Oh, dude, you'll have to pick out some of your secondaries because I don't think you can. I don't think you can handle the Falcon Fox matchup.
I'll just play Pikachu. I've never played Pikachu in tournament ever, singles, doubles.
That's fine.
I think I played him maybe a couple times in friendlies.
Honestly, like I know. I mean, I recognize it's a joke, but also like I have this weird thing where like if you're I'm good at Fox Dittos, but if you're a bad Fox, like you just get fucked up. It's like bad Foxes, and like if you're a Pikachu's, like I'm a player, but I don't know the Pikachu Fox matchup, then it doesn't even worry me, even though it's not a great matchup for Fox. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you have to know at least that like next level of matchup specific knowledge to like break through.
I can grab you and then back air you.
Yeah, right. It's actually neutral air followed by up air. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna go back air followed by up air.
Oh man, rookie mistake. It'll never work. No, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's like starting to get to the time where people are calling out like money matches and stuff. Like I have a money match against your brother, Falcon Fox. I think I have me and Sheer Madness have a Fox Ditto. And then, which is going to be weird because we played each other online, but both of us have really bad frames. So it's like
Your frame delay would be crazy.
Is what?
Is that the Baltimore Pikachu?
Oh yeah. I think he plays Yoshi now.
I'm being a meme lord. Ignore me.
No, and it's funny because he was continuing the joke with the Yoshi comment.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Get on my level.
Oh God, I exited. My bad.
Dude, I'm looking at, and I think Annex and I have some large amount of money on the line, but whatever he wants to give me, it's good.
$500.
If he wants to give me $500, I'll do $500 money match. Does not matter at all. Any amount of money that Annex wants to put on the line, I'm happy to take it from him.
The call out.
Yeah, right.
You heard it here first.
I've been called out so many times by him, and it's I'm so sick of it. Dude, I'm looking through. Sorry, like I was not paying attention to the chat because it's been a hot minute since I've done it. Dude, someone said that.
Yeah.
Someone said that
We got
Hipster or Night Fox threw the game against Hipster on purpose.
Yeah.
Destroying my friend's chances. Oh my god. What a bad.
Do you really think IBC could be hit up though?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't know. I want to see them like have a money match, but have us bet money on that.
I would like to watch them play. I think that'd be like interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because if Hipster wins, then I have better data on how to beat Kirby. But I don't know. I feel like that's a
Fair
weird
enough.
matchup that a lot of people are like. A lot of foxes aren't really good at, and I'm kind of going through a weird slump in it right now, but it'll come back.
I think LD likes playing Kirby.
Okay, so my fox started out as a Kirby killer, because I used to play Falcon, and I was just like, I can't deal with, I either have to be able to deal with this matchup as Falcon, or I have to switch characters, and I just switched characters. So it started out as a Kirby killer, and then I lost something along the way. Or like everything else got better, but my Kirby just kind of like lagged behind. So I don't know. They'll come back. I'm working on it. Anyway, what are we talking about?
We were talking about your adventure.
Oh my god, my adventure! It's gonna be amazing. I actually have it's gonna be. I have a feeling like something's just gonna go. Like I'm gonna get to New York and be like, "Yo, Jimmy Joe, like." Let's how do I get to your place? And he'll be like, oh, I totally thought you were gonna be coming. I'm actually in Maine right now doing something else. I'm gonna be like,
yeah, you better get confirmation from people.
I did. I got a confirmation from everyone like 4 times over, and I
will definitely be here.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I feel like you've never let me down as of yet, Jason. So keep up the.
No, I'm gonna be here. I'm way too busy to go anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have everyone at your house anyway. So.
Yeah, that too.
So I'm not concerned about that. I trust the.
It's gonna be like
boys.
the freaking United Nations here. There's gonna be like 5 different countries represented at my house.
Oh man. Oh. Wow. Shit.
Let's see. Canada, Mexico.
Yeah.
At least 4.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Daigo was in Game 5 last round. I had to watch it.
What? Did he win?
Daigo? Street Fighter?
I know.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Do I know about... Get out of here. How dare you? How dare you say that?
It was Game 5 final round.
Sort of. It's like if you were like, yeah, Wayne Gretzky. Oh, Wayne Gretzky. He plays hockey.
There are people that do not know who he is
It's
because they don't know hockey.
Yeah, well, it's closer to that because it's a fighting game.
Kiro didn't know what a Wookiee was.
Okay, Kiro doesn't know anything.
I mean,
Wait,
that's Hero though.
Kiro,
A Wookiee, like from Star, he doesn't know Star Wars at all.
He
Not even a Wookiee.
He did not know what a Wookiee was. He asked Alex what his tag meant last year. At
Wow.
dude,
Even my girlfriend, I showed her Star Wars just about maybe 2 months ago, but she knew a Wookiee way before that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd
Like,
think
how
this
do you
is
not know
something
what a
you'd
Wookiee
pick
is?
up, but he
Wait,
never did.
I
So
thought
you
you-
never
Again,
you
this is
never
the
know.
guy that's better than all of us.
I thought your girlfriend was a huge weeaboo, though. What happened?
Star Wars, weeaboo, that doesn't.
Whatever. All
Yeah,
right.
it's not
You
the
can be
same
a
thing.
nerd,
Come
all
on,
right.
don't insult us.
Get out of here! Oh my god.
Star Wars and anime don't coexist
Yeah,
that much.
if you're a huge nerd, then I feel like there's some overlap.
I mean, in a sense, but that a nerd,
I
like
can't
if
believe
you're
I'm losing
putting
this
that under
argument
nerd,
right now.
that's no, we're not getting
Alright.
into this.
Also, so watching this Street Fighter top 8 right now
Oh,
on
God.
CEO, I'm really disappointed in the Smash players' entrances. They sucked compared to these other guys. This dude just came out with a giant American flag and smoke everywhere.
Dude,
Right?
No one from Smash did anything cool.
I know. I was, and you couldn't hear it on stream either. That was really disappointing.
Yeah,
I think the
they
best
don't
thing
have.
was Shootout
they don't-
came
yeah.
out to the Leffen diss track. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, respect your I don't know. If you don't
Yeah.
know, then I'm not
Okay.
gonna. And he's like, of course it's Shootout, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I love that dude.
He was great,
Oh,
but yeah, you couldn't like hear anything. But no one had like a cool entrance, you know.
it was that you had Axe who came out to a Drake song because he looks like Drake. And that was it, I think.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. If I made top 8 as CEO, I would have an awesome entrance.
Right? I already know my entrance music. 'cause
I'd get crushed, but my entrance would be top tier.
every time I enter a tournament, I actually have one of my buddies going ahead of me, and we bring in a little Bluetooth speaker, and they play "Can't Tell You Nothing" by Kanye, so I can walk in and people know.
we
I think they
We
just
believe
don't
this is how we
want to
do it.
tell you anything. It has nothing to do with their ability to tell you.
Well, they can't either way. One way or another, they're not doing it, so that's all that matters. Oh god.
Apparently, chat wants us to talk about Dong Boner Storm.
Dude, Dong Boner Storm. He made bracket, right?
You're welcome, because I was DQ'd for not showing, so that's what made his way in.
Dude, you probably like didn't show because you knew you'd have to face him.
I mean, I didn't. How could I root for myself?
How can you not root for yourself?
Dude,
It's Dong Boner
yeah,
Storm.
dude, come on, get out of here. Oh my god. Yeah, so Combo Blaze says, why didn't Boom get at least an offline interview after the tournament?
Offline. Yeah, I guess once because we were supposed to be out of that venue at 6. Grand finals ended at 6:30, and the point or the intention was to interview Boom and Isaiah and Tacos. We got Isaiah up first.
Smart.
And then they were like, "Get out of here!" They were like kicking us out. And then I guess after we left the venue, it didn't. No one thought about it. I can't like. It's not my stream, so I don't really know like what they were thinking. But that was we got kicked out. So.
Yeah, happens.
Fair enough.
Sometimes things run over because games take a long time, but we don't have any solution to that at the moment, so we'll just. You guys want to talk about online play at least a little bit? I feel like it's a topic we'll revisit as soon as we pop the lid on this one, but just because it's I started just saying please be kind a lot online. I feel like there's a lot of negativity whenever you can get behind an anonymous face, or even on the Facebook group. I feel like you can get into this like weird negative semi-toxic culture. It's not too bad on the Facebook at the moment, but I don't know. It's just like, do you guys see that at all?
I feel it exists in most communities in a sense. I mean, even in my time playing Melee and other fighting games, communities, it's the annoying ones and the hateful ones that are the most outspoken. And you see that stuff a lot more. So, I mean, but when you go to the tournaments and things like that, people are not nearly as negative as they are online. It's just
people just
a lot
look
more
at you in the eyes and they go like, "Are you seriously saying that to me right now? Like, are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it's a lot different.
There aren't that many people that are the same online as they are in person. You have like, well, as far as like trash talking and like being obnoxious and everything, you have like Kiro and Studstill that are pretty much the same in person.
So Kiro is way more tolerable in interviews where you're like, oh, I can see where the punctuation was missing before. Like now it all makes sense. Or like he's joking. I get it.
He just uses line breaks for everything. It's fine.
Dude, he's a line break king, man. King line break over there. I can appreciate it. Well, I don't use caps in person either, so it makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I agree with you that there's a difference, but also I don't know. They're different. It's like a prism, I think, and like your true self or whatever goes through the prism, and then when you're offline, it's like this, and when you're online, it's like this, and when it's Twitch chat or whatever, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously going to translate into the real world as well.
Yeah,
you just probably shouldn't be an asshole either way.
I think I'm actually nicer online.
Dude, I definitely believe that, Jason. The longer that we spend together, like the more time that we just spend talking, where I can see your face, the bigger of a dick you become.
It takes so much more work to like type out, to like convey how much I want to punch you in the face, like by typing it out. It's way easier in person. So yeah, I guess I'm probably nicer online.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really, we should just never meet. I feel like our relationship would be better.
It'd probably be better for you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow, for me. Okay, all right, I see you. Yeah, so on Kylera, on the online platform, I've started, like, whenever someone says something that's just, like, mean or insults someone or whatever it is, I just say, like, please be kind. Because it's, like, on one level, like, I say that to people and they'll be like, actually, you're right. I was, like, upset what was happening, but now that I think about it, it's, I'm sorry, like, let me, like, they actually, like, backpedal, which is surprising to me. But also, if you just say it in, like, general chat, I think it's just kind of funny. So, we're just not adding anything to it.
Dude, chat at Snowsa was brutal. I don't know if either of you three were watching the stream, but like as soon as like Isaiah would get on, is like like everyone just like a bunch of Melee, Smash 4, whatever people,
Yeah.
and guys like Cobra and Fireblast were like getting so mad at them, and I don't know, I don't get it. It's like why? It's so easy to just ignore them.
Yeah, well, that's.
I don't know. I don't get the whole like flipping out at people in chat phenomenon that is on Twitch.
I mean, you can always hide chat if it bothers you that much.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
People
I find it
generally
really-
hate ignorance,
Well,
but they see it as ignorance, but it's really just them not knowing. I mean, for example, Genesis 3 had
that's what I mean.
38,000 viewers for Isaiah, and as soon as he got knocked out, we dropped down to 12,000.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
That's just an example. Like, I mean, if Isaiah is playing on stream, you're just that's what you're gonna get.
Well, I
that's
mean,
it.
that's how lots of things are.
Yeah.
That's what
Like-
ignorance means, Roman.
But, like
Damn it.
think about
I
how
got
many
that
people
too.
think about how many people would have not watched the NBA Finals if LeBron wasn't in it.
I
Like,
wouldn't have.
so many people don't really care about basketball that much, but they watch it because he was in it.
I wouldn't have watched it if he wasn't in it. I mean, I didn't watch it either way, but I think your point remains valid.
Yeah. That's just the way it is, and like 64 is a community where we don't have a whole lot of names that people recognize besides Wizrobe and Isaiah. So, no offense to Boom, but like outside of 64, I mean, there's Falco
Yeah, I
Master
was about
3000.
to say, people
But-
know about Boom a little.
But when Isaiah and Wizrobe are on, like everybody goes nuts.
Yeah.
And then when they're off, they don't really care anymore because like they don't know these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I'm
like
kind of like
that's
that
gonna
with
happen.
I'm like that with Melee with like players that I like to watch, and like I'll watch Wizrobe's games because I like him from 64, and I'll watch like Plups games because I think he plays like a 64 player, and I'm like, hey, it's like I'm watching my game, but it's he's better than I am or whatever. So I don't know. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I feel like there's I don't know. You can talk about the toxicity of online, but I don't think it's just the online play. The more levels, the more walls of anonymity that you have, the more the bad behavior comes out. And also the more investment that you have to come in, usually the older that you are. And as much as I don't like saying it as someone that used to be the young one in the group, like as you get older, you tend to be less of a dick over time. So
I'm still a
I've
dick,
become-
and I turn 30 next month.
I think I've become more of one actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you don't do it online though, which is the thing.
Oh no, it's too much work.
Yeah.
I try to refrain from being a dick as much as I can.
Dude. Bacorn, you're older than me? I didn't know that.
I'm an old man, man.
Yeah, you're older than me by a few months.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
I'm actually
Nice.
16 years old.
Damn, dude, in the next year, there's going to be like a solid handful of us that are in the 30-plus group.
Yeah.
We might have to do a crew battle.
Let's do it. The old man.
30-plus versus
Draft.
everybody else.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna do draft crews among the 30. Like
I don't know if we have that many.
like Smash Sisters, but for old people. God, what was that? Jesus, I'm losing my trains of thought. It's actually really, really warm in here at the moment.
We were discussing online, but we started moving into the toxicity, which
It's
doesn't necessarily translate just to the net play players. It's just
yeah,
Facebook groups in general also.
yeah. Yeah, I was like in an I keep on getting baited into arguments with Shears on the Facebook group, and like at some point I was about to like look up like bracket statistics, and then I was like, wait, how much do I care about this? And is this like looking into this? Is this gonna make my life better? And I was like, no, unsubscribe from this thread. Get me out of here. Wow. Jason just posted Smash Seniors, and then he laughed at his own joke.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
man.
someone
Well,
else.
I
Low
refuse to
power
type.
said that.
I refuse to type LOL.
Dude,
So
you gotta step
I
up
type-
your game into the Lamaus.
I type ha.
Raffles.
Yeah, use, use
That's-
some
that's-
emojis.
No. How do you use? Can you use emojis on Skype? Oh yeah, look at Oh, there's a whole list of smiley faces. Oh, and they're animated.
God, old people.
And I'm older than you?
Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
So Roman,
Yes.
since the first episode, you've been saying, "Yo, when are we gonna talk about online play?" Can't wait to talk about it. Can we please talk about it? Tell me, bring it
I haven't
on.
been rushing you down that far. I just
whatever.
said
We talk
when
like
you talk
every
about it, I
month.
want to be on.
Yeah. Well, so what's your thing? If you had your,
What's my thing?
if you had like your 3 sentences, you're like, this is what I want people to know about online play, or like my big opinion on it. Give it to me.
In short,
Yeah.
NetPlay currently is in a really bad position, and people need to be focusing more on making it better. But at the same time, we lack the resources to do so.
Okay.
For example, we're still using an emulator from 2003. Like, it's barely been updated since then. I think it had a minor update in 2007 or somewhere around then, but just to have it have Vista support, so maybe around 09. But we're still using an emulator that old. It desyncs all the time, and the biggest issue that I find is that it just doesn't work properly on Windows 8 or above because of this like VSync feature. Basically, your frames drop and you have input lag. So we really desperately need to have a new emulator put into place, but we just don't have the people to do it or anybody to care. So we're kind of in a tricky situation. But I have a feeling if we can get the people to do, the edits we need to the new Project 64 that's coming out soon, we'll have a more stable online experience. And I honestly think a lot of console players who had first started or tried online should give the new one a try whenever we do get to it, because it will feel a lot different in the sense that it will run a lot more smoothly and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So so a few months back, actually, at this point, you created we're currently using Project 64K.
Yeah.
You or at least you were making like an installer for like Mupin, right?
Yeah, I had tried Mupin, but I found that most people's it's just incredibly unstable. That's
it is. Okay.
the end of it. I mean, it's just so unstable that every time I closed it, it crashed instead of closing. I would get the crash notice, and other people I would play with, they would just have significant lag spikes. I think it had something to do with matching video plugins, but it was just it's not the answer. Mupin is definitely not a better replacement than Project 64K. It might have the full screen without desync, but other than that, it doesn't have anything else going for it.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I was like, yeah, let me know when you're get this all up to date, and then just didn't hear anything. So I didn't see people using it. Yeah, is there any other? Do we have other emulators, or are you just waiting until Project 64 gets updated?
Onosaurus he implemented Caloria onto Project 64 2.2, but he made the biggest mistake he made was he locked it at 58 FPS in order to prevent desync. I don't know programming or anything like that kind of stuff, but that alone, that's not a solution. We cannot play this game with 58 FPS compared to 60. It just feels terrible.
Yeah.
So if there was some sort of workaround for that, another issue was that it also blue screened to death on Windows 10. That's something you can't have either. But the source code is out for 2.3. It fixes the blue screen issue. Once they release a stable version of it, if for some reason someone can implement Caloria onto that, then we could finally force a specific emulator onto servers and finally get the ball rolling on converting people over. It's just if and when it can happen. Onosaurus is the only person I know that can actually do it, but obviously I don't have any contact with him.
So I think I haven't seen it yet in the chat, but if it goes on for long enough, I'm sure people will be like, why are we using a server lobby for what's a port or a P2P game? It's a 1 versus 1 game. Why on earth do we need a server for this? Are you
asking?
I don't know. I don't actually know what I was going to go with that.
Well, the way P2P works actually is that basically you get 1 frame for every 32 milliseconds on P2P, as opposed to server where you get 1 frame for every 16 milliseconds. So unless the server is located directly between you and the other player, and even then, it doesn't serve that much of a benefit. It normally supports 1 player overall. But for example, Boom, who lives right above Seattle, and somewhere in that California area. I'm not exactly sure. But, I mean, I can get 2 frames with him. So, I mean, compared to server, like, where I would reach to Seattle, I would get 4 and he'd get 1 or 2. So, I mean, P2P is definitely the way to go if we want to advance it, but port forwarding is another issue. A lot of people live in apartments where they can't forward their routers or just don't know how or lack the ability to. Dolphin has a way where you can skip the port forwarding, send your opponent a 6-character code, and they connect just like that. If we had the development Dolphin had, we'd be set, but obviously we don't have the resources for that.
Right, because nobody cares at all.
Now all the efforts going into 19XX instead.
Honestly, I'm more, as much as, so my thing with online play, and I'm sure that we'll get, you're bound to give me Shear's opinion. I live in a region that doesn't really have a scene. And for the past, 3 years, 2 years I've been playing, have really not had any time to create a scene. Like, I just did not have time to do that. I barely have time to do this. And now I have time to do this and probably create a scene, but I'm gonna be gone from Iowa for 7 months, so I don't really, there's not the time, I have the time, but there'd be no continuity there. I would leave and then people would be like, all right, I'm gonna go back to just playing my roommate. So for me, online has been kind of a godsend as far as, I can actually get better at this game or play it.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I've been. I mean, I started playing this game competitively in 2006, and even then, there was no one even in my radius. I was 12 years old, so I had no other option. I recently came back last year, but even now, I've got a couple players in my city. I'm working on getting some more players. It's going well, but even that's a year later. But before then, the closest people I had is KC, 3 hours north of me.
Yeah.
So I'm traveling 3 hours north to go to a 6 to 10 man tournament, and then traveling back 3 hours.
6 to 10 man tournament that you
yeah,
are better than
I can't. Local play just did not cut it. That's why I continue to play online. If I had a local scene, I probably would drop online. But the fact is, since I have no one better or anybody better than me to play, I rely on online to kind of fill that gap.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure that the Shears argument is that, if you didn't have online play, then you'd be forced to make a scene. And it's like, yeah, I would probably just stop playing.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't put in as much effort as they can. I don't know if you heard. I advertised it, our local tournament on Craigslist, and I got 6 people from Craigslist alone in my 100,000 population city. So, I mean, it's not the biggest city in the world, but, I mean, it's not small, but it's, to have 6 people show up at a random tournament on a Saturday and have some interest. I've only had a couple contact me further than that, but, again, one Craigslist post for one tournament.
Right.
If I keep doing that on each of our bi-monthlies, so I'm going to eventually probably build something up.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in college, I put up flyers on campus for a tournament, and I ended up getting 20-something people.
Yeah, I ran
advertising. Yeah. It's easy, but no one feels like doing it.
22
it takes a little effort.
Team tournament on my college campus a couple years back. But it was just single elimination, doubles team, kind of like that thing that would be like, these guys are running this tournament rule set, and it's like, yeah, guys, calm down. Most of these people are just nerds that don't talk to anyone, and they don't really play this game, and let them have their doesn't matter. Let them play Sector C, even though it sucks.
Dude, right side only.
I used to live with them. My friend and I would play Smash a lot, and then at some point I was like, dude, I cannot play. You keep on jokingly picking Sector Z, but I cannot stand it anymore. Here's the rule: if you pick Sector Z, I'm going to spit on you. And we stopped playing Sector Z, and one time he misclicked, and never has misclicked since.
So, is that John?
No, that's not John. That's
okay.
That's the Masked Smasher. There's a guy that only plays with a mask on. Dario Stealth. No one really knows what he looks like, but he's some say that he's never lost a tournament, but others have been to a tournament with him. So they tend to be more accurate than him. Yeah, online's kind of a funky thing. I think a lot of people have issues with it takes some adjustment. We were talking about this ahead of time, Roman, that there's it's a different game.
It's a different metagame in a sense. Yeah, I mean, like I'd said, I played from 2006 to 2010 just purely online. Went to my first tournament, and it was just eye-opening how different the game was played. I got away with so much more random approaches in a sense online. I got away with just a lot more because you have that extra frame delay where you can't counter it. So I mean, the game is so much more spacious on console, and I've had to relearn the game in a sense just to kind of compete on console because it's just a different metagame in my eyes, especially when frame delay is put into consideration.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people are like, "Oh yeah, what's your game plan for like this matchup?" or "What's your game plan for this?" Like, it's kind of it's like, what are you thinking about? But I've actually found myself like, say I'm doing a Fox Ditto or a Falcon Fox or something like fast paced online where it's like you can't react with 3 frames of delay. You have to be like actively guessing what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was. Yes. Then I'm actually like, oh well, okay. So instead of going like, I have a strategy that I have to revamp if I'm going to adjust to this person. Instead of being like, we'll just react quicker and like keep this in mind more. I don't know. It's like, it's a weird thing that I only became aware of when I was playing LD on like 3 frames, and then we did P2P, and I got 1 frame, and he was like, "Dude, you're playing a lot differently." It's like,
yeah, because you have balanced frame differences.
Yeah, well,
instead, I mean, LD's reaction time, don't get me wrong, is incredible. He's shown screenshots of reaction time tests and things like that, and it's phenomenal. But when you have a person,
Eevee.
Oh, did you?
I said I beat him in Eager Eevee.
Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, it's just a reaction. All it is a reaction.
It's a reaction one. But I mean, did he try and argue that it was different than reaction time because you had to do a thought process ahead of time?
No.
No,
we were just going before. We were just going pure reaction time. We don't care if you get a pine. You don't care if you get a Pineco. It's just who does it the fastest.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. But like I was saying, he's already got that phenomenal reaction time. So whenever you add 120, or 180 MS to your opponent, it's almost unfair.
Dude, I was like not getting. I was not beating. Like I wasn't. LD's better than me. I don't think that I have to even say that. But he was like, it wasn't like he wasn't blowing me out when we were doing P2P. But then he was like, oh yeah, you should also practice doing like only shines against people. And he did like only shine. He beat me way worse when he only did shines against me than when he was like actually playing. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's LD.
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, he should just do that in the Fox Ditto from now on, I guess. I don't get it.
But
dude, Daigo just lost. What the hell?
Who's Daigo again?
This hockey player.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of someone else. Wow, he lost. Well, that's something that...
His game 5.
I got you.
Round 3.
Oh.
Wow. That's actually really
but
interesting,
in the
we shouldn't talk about it.
But online isn't just terrible, though. You got to admit that it's got its pluses as well.
Oh my god, I'm so much better because of online. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that a lot of people can get really good online and, have that help them. But I mean, they've got to overcome the boundaries of input delay and controller adapters. That's a huge problem too. Most of the prominent 64 players I see online that are incredibly good, the reason they don't play console is lack of adapters for their controllers. Most commonly Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah, low power.
It sucks.
What are you doing, man? I don't understand. Like, just choose a... Why don't you guys just choose an adapter or like a controller that actually works for console? I don't get it. I don't get why you don't...
They're in the chat. I guarantee you they're going to answer. I know
Super
Supa is. I see Supa answering right now, so it won't take a few seconds until he'll give a response. But yeah, those are the 2 biggest things to overcome. But for example, LD's situation where he's got 1 frame and an adapter that, well, I guess works. I don't know his situation on that.
I think he's pretty happy with it now.
Yeah, so I mean, if you can solve those two things, then by all means use online to your advantage. But you also got to understand what is hindering you and make sure not to have that,
Yeah.
Be a mental block.
Yeah, it can be frustrating. So it's like, it's how I feel about. It's one of the reasons I say don't play a low tier. It's not because like it's gonna be worse for you, which is true. But I think a bigger thing is that when you play a low tier, anytime that you lose, you can kind of, whether you mean to or not, you can think like, well, I'm playing a bad
It gives
character.
you that handicap.
Yeah, and you can like.
I call that low tier privilege. That's low tier privilege.
Well,
when you lose, it's because I played a low tier, and if you win, you get to brag that you won with a low tier.
That's the option.
Low tier privilege. It's a win-win.
Well, even, I mean, to yourself. Like, you don't say it to anyone, but you think like,
exactly.
man, I lost. Like, I'm so frustrated with like Fox Link is gonna suck for Link. Like, man, Fox, I hate Fox. Instead of being like, all right, I need to step up my game if I want to win that. Like, I play Fox, which a lot of people are going to be like, not that good of a character, but in my mind, I think he's amazing, so I'm never going to think, wow, Fox sucks, or, Pikachu's too good, I can't beat him. And I'm never going to have that, mental block, like you said. And every so often I'll feel that way with, like, my frame delay, and I think that's just a toxic way to view.
I feel the same way in that sense. I feel if somebody beats me on 1 or 2 frames, I use that as a crutch. Just mentally, I don't want to,
right.
But it still kicks into your mind.
Yeah.
I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's stupid. Dark, I think we played once online.
Yeah?
Like a year ago, at least. Like when I was first starting online, I think you did an online tournament and played me.
Oh, okay.
So I think I played you and I played your brother. You guys both beat me, and you were like, your spacing isn't bad. Like, okay, thanks. That doesn't actually help.
There's no way I said that.
I'm sure your brother said that.
I don't talk to you online people. I just beat you and then hit the little X.
How do I exit out quicker?
Alt F4.
Oh my god.
PJ64 killer OP.exe.
What?
Do you not have that?
Is that the thing that like
the killer OP?
What is that?
It resets your Project 64K and then reopens it with Caloria. So like if it ever you need a DS or whatever, you just click on the button and it just gets you right back.
Someone needs to send that to
Come
me.
on, man. You call yourself a net player? You don't know about killer OP?
Dude, I play it base pure net play. I just go to the server and I click on the first open game and I play against people that have less than 85 ping, because anyone above that, no way. And then I just I play them.
Exactly.
And it's either someone ulting, someone I know, or someone that I crush.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Or it's like when Criminal Record came onto the scene and he's just like, oh, by the way, I'm really good and I don't have any ults. It's like, oh, okay, great.
Apparently that's Froggles. That's what people are claiming, but
Rob was really...
I'm not too sure about it.
Rob was really, like, exacerbated, I guess. I don't know. He's just like, who is this guy? I checked all of his alts. Like, I checked to see if he entered under other names, and, like, he doesn't have any other name. And I told Criminal Record that, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why people keep on asking me who I am. But...
Yeah, Supa and Sheer Madness both say they're pretty certain that it's Froggles.
Who is Supa? Dude, is that... Supa, have we played each other?
I'm sure you guys have.
Or Sanchez just goes, if I go back online and find myself losing to Manhoney, I'll quit. Dude, Josh, you used to be the gentle giant. That's what I called you. You had skill and you didn't talk shit. And now I'm getting all this flack from you. What happened? What happened, Josh? Where did we go wrong? I think there's a delay, so we're gonna have to wait about 40 seconds to find out where we went wrong. I think he didn't even lose the set to me. I think he just lost a game or something. Everyone loses games, man. What's so upsetting? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I'm better than Sheer Madness because I beat him in one Fox Ditto where we each had 3 frames of lag. Oh my god. Anyway, I don't know why I'm waiting for your brother to get back to me, Jason.
I don't know either.
Oh my god, I am glad that Cheers is not here to complain about online or online play. I will say that if you can play offline, it's so much. I'm getting really sick of online just because of those. It's like when if you get really good at Luigi. It's like you can get really really good, but at a certain point you're like, look, there's only so far you can push this character, and playing online is like playing a low tier sometimes. You can still learn the fundamentals and the matchups, but it's like every time that you see a region weak to a character, like, I mean, I don't know if this is actually true, but I think the sentiment is that Baltimore is, or at least was, weak to Yoshi's. And I don't know if that's really true or not anymore, but
we didn't have any.
Yeah, exactly.
And we still don't. Like, Dave sucks. Like, he is a Yoshi, sure. He's not a good Yoshi.
Yeah, and it's like
we just don't have the experience. Right.
And I feel like I have experience against all matchups, especially when people choose Link against me for some reason. This is why I'm good against Bad Fox and Bad Pika. It's because when I beat someone and they are frustrated, they'll either choose Fox, or they'll be like, the implied thing is, you're only better than me because you play Fox. And if you're playing a Fox Ditto where someone's tilted, they always try to recover as quick as possible, which gives you the easiest kills in the world. So it's like, I'm great against tilted, Bad Foxes, and Bad Pikas because I play them all the time. And then, like, I guess Falcons, but I guess we'll find that out. Mark Sanchez says, what did they say about me? My stream cut out. And then someone said, man, honey said he'd 5-stock you. Yeah, baby. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
By the way, why do online players and, like, why is there animosity then? Like,
Online versus
missing.
It's just
That's
two
a
separate
great
communities.
question.
it's like two parts of a community. It's like on a team when you have the offense and the defense argue with each other. Like, that's just like you're part of the same team, but you have like
that
different.
you put it that way.
It's two groups within a larger group.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's not true hatred between the two. That's just kind of funny nitpicking, but we're all for the same goal of,
I
64.
thought it was Shears, and then as an augment to Shears is Rob arguing with Shears.
Well,
that was the animosity there.
Like, whenever Shears talks, you just have to remember that he only operates in extremes, and absolutes.
Yeah.
Like, there is no gray area ever.
I learned not to debate with him like a year ago, maybe a month back into my return. I was just like, nope.
I learned that too, and I forget every time. It pisses me off because I'm like, how did I fall? It's like when you walk into a Kirby up tilt. It's like, I knew this was going to happen. Why did I do it?
Have you seen the tier list discussion that's going on Smashboards right now between him and Smasher X? And
dude, people still use Smashboards?
It's funny.
I only do that to do the 19XX to see what's going on there, but that's it.
No, go look through it's called No More Top Tiers. It was originally a parody of Cuddly Toys, but it's all about how tiers don't exist and just people arguing. Oh, it's fun, man. It's fun.
Bro, don't. That's just. I feel like when you dive into this like the hatred or this, I just feel slimy afterwards. I feel like I'm covered in like a layer of grime. Like each time I argue with Shears, I feel this way. I feel like. Or like I'm
not a part of it. I'm just watching. I'm just spectating the whole thing.
Whenever
it's fun.
Is online, Cuddly Toys, if he's online, I feel that way. It's just like this just makes it. It's like when you read a negative music review about an album that you really like, and you're just like, well, I don't like music anymore. I guess like why am I here? That's how I feel whenever So I don't want to go into that thread and be like, this is funny, but also I just feel bad, of course.
Yeah.
Sounds like Smashboards is just Cuddly Toys talking to himself. That is very true. It's Cuddly Toys talking to himself. It's one good thread, which is Jorgasm's 19XX thread. It is a bunch of really good information about the game that's not active anymore. And then it's whenever the Smash Riders have a new post, it gets put there.
Yeah.
And you get all of that stuff from the Facebook group. So
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to archive information well.
Yeah.
Smash
exactly.
But
That's the best thing about traditional forums is its archival method to keep active conversations up to the top and a little bit more organized in a sense, and just to keep threads. And
I don't like the active conversations. I don't think that's compared to like the way that say Facebook is set up, where you can have like nested conversations. Like
that's similar to like how Reddit works in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
But Reddit is also guilty of not having a very good archival system. Once a week or two passes, it's buried away until you look through the top and stuff, but it's not very, I don't know. I like traditional forums in that sense, but I feel with the Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit overhaul that happened earlier this decade, it just kind of destroyed archival systems as we know it.
Well, even, so I'm even starting to see like the holes in that paradigm though, because like the grabs don't stale thing, like apparently that's just a really well-known thing on the East Coast. They're like, everyone knows that grabs don't stale. That's like common knowledge. And I'm like, I literally just searched on the Facebook or on the Smashboards thing, and it's like one comment made by Mixa that's like, hey, this is kind of weird, but I don't think grabs stale. It was just like, why is this not like in the things that you should know about grabs, things that you should know, like, I don't know, like things you should know about knockback?
64 has it rough in that sense because we're so much more separated than from Smash than the other communities are. So, I mean, we kind of need to have our own things. If we had our own wiki that had dedicated members on making, fact-checking, everything like that, I think that would help a lot. But, it's all about getting that stuff started.
As it stands, and I talked to Bacorn about this a lot, at least like twice, which is a lot because that's like 50% of our conversations. Like I feel like there's a lack of infrastructure in the community. Because I think that a lot of things that happen are just based off of people stepping up and putting a lot into the community. Like, Ben's doing work in Indiana. I don't know, like just doing a lot. Basically carrying the team on his back. Shears is taking a lot of work. There's two guys, luckily, and there's Soto and Alex, which is nice. But it's like, what if Ben decided tomorrow, man, I don't like Smash. I'm gone. I'm gonna get hit by a car and die or whatever. Like, there's nothing. I mean, what would Indiana do? Like, hopefully someone would step up, but it might just kind of fade away. No more boss battles, probably. You might just have like weeklies or whatever. I don't know. That worries me that we don't have that that infrastructure
security
there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, both. It feels like everything is kind of held together very loosely, but at the same time, I just feel most of our community leaders are so dedicated that even though we have a loose infrastructure, it's not going to fall.
That's.
Maybe in smaller areas like ours, like ours in the Midwest, I understand where you're getting from that, but
so
the 64 community as a whole won't fall.
Okay, yeah, but that's, but like we should have that. It shouldn't be that way. Like, so for example, amazing TO was in Kansas, Lux, phenomenal TO, and he recently moved to California, and I think he did the best job he could to train people to fill his spot. Like had like binders and stuff for him.
Yeah.
This guy's a TO god, and
he's incredible.
And it's just like, but when's the last time we went to a tournament in Kansas?
It's true.
Last time I was there was when he was back for a weekend and he threw a tournament.
And he hosted a tournament, exactly. And that's where most of Missouri's 64 players are, is Kansas City. So they do have weeklies, but their main group who hosts tournaments or the main smashers who don't, or host tournaments don't like 64, and the other guys aren't stepping up to the plate, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah. And it's like, luckily you have like Minnesota, you have, Danny and Rachel are keeping it. I think if you have two people, it's a little bit easier. But, I don't know. I feel like the way to go is to have positions where people like, and people can be like, this is what the league is supposed to be, or it doesn't really matter what it is, but just the idea of having, I was telling Ben, like, you should have someone that's advertising for you or figuring out part of your load, because you're running a whole tournament and it's like, it's 8 months in advance, but you should be free to do other things, or have someone else take part in, talking to business leaders or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, it needs to have infrastructure, but you can't say you're going to do this.
Right.
Because that's not going to happen unless you pay them.
Right.
And I don't have the money to pay someone. And, I don't think any of us do. So, I mean, you can't just tell someone to do something. They have to say, hey, what can I do to help you? And then you have to agree on something, and then you have to agree on terms. And, I mean, it's not hard to do, but it's just someone has to approach you first about the infrastructure. You can't say, I need you to do this, and expect it to happen.
Yeah. I mean, so I fully agree with that. The one caveat I would have is that look at any college campus and you have all these stupid clubs that exist that have great, 4 officer positions, and they rotate each year if they should, I guess. I don't know. I think they run for, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But they have, a way to rotate positions. This is your position, and it's like, hey, will somebody be treasurer this year? Or will somebody be vice president or whatever the equivalent is in Smash? And I feel like that would be ideal if we had the people to do it, but I think people would step up as far as minor things. Running a stream is a big thing to do. That requires time investment, money investment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn skills. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't have I barely have I have the time now. I barely had the time. Don't have the equipment. Don't have the internet, and certainly don't have the skills that someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I like Baltimore. You have Jason. You're doing the stream stuff as far as I can tell, and all of the that aspect of it. And Shears puts in a lot of work as far as I can tell, but
if the two of us just moved,
right.
then everything here would die, and people would go play in Northern Virginia. But
right.
but the people that are actually close to the city, that's far. There would just be nothing.
Right. That's so worrisome to me. I mean,
but that's just what happens when you're small.
Yeah.
You can lose a couple valuable members, and it all dismantles from there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. You see it when I talk about rule sets and stage sets. That same we shouldn't be able to catastrophically fail. You shouldn't be playing a map that can just degenerate into camping, and you shouldn't be well, people shouldn't camp. It's no, you should have safeguards, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone's asking about. Oh yeah, never mind. That's a good. Maybe next time we talk about esports, because I know that people were talking about what was it? Performance enhancing drugs. Should not have gotten into that conversation either. Oh my god, that's stuff I don't know. Whenever there's something I'm
you can't enforce it, so it's just not.
Yeah, that was
needs to be up to discussion.
Point.
You can't enforce it, so you can't. It's not up to discussion right now. We're not that big yet. There's no need to even talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude, I think people just want to do LSD while they play Smash.
I mean, if people want to do LSD over things like Adderall, I mean, by all means, let them do it. That's not a performance enhancing drug.
I don't know, man. It might bring too much inner peace.
Hey, man, what's his face? Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on acid in a professional baseball game.
I guess that does take a lot more, though. So.
Well, I guess that's
It's the greatest. It's the greatest feat in sports history.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
How can you do that?
I mean, you practice how you play.
But we don't even enforce the rules we have now.
Right?
No one goes around checking controllers for macros at big tournaments.
That's true. You could get away with a lot with the RAFnet adapters and things like that, but nobody bothers to check them.
Yeah.
Or what was it? PD's DI was
DI on D-pad.
Yeah, he put D-pad he set that to be directions. So like whenever he would DI, he would just be like
Full one range, like multiple inputs.
Yeah.
It was stupid. It was so crazy that I even looked at his. I never look at somebody's hands because of DI at all during a game. But I was playing him, and I just noticed his DI was just so incredible. And I just looked over at his hands one time when I was doing like a Falcon Fair on him after a forward throw, and I just saw him just move his finger over to the D-pad, and I was like, "Well, that explains it." And he just goes, "Shh."
They say people ask me like, should you look at your character or the opponent's character when you're playing? But the answer is really you should just know what's going on there and just look at their controller.
Yeah.
Just have a perfect mental map of everything that's happening. Whoa. Well, that's what on earth? Oh yeah, we're talking about enforcing rules. No gentlemen's, no high rule, none of that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you walked up to, been in a tournament, like, and it's like, oh, no gentlemen, streamline only, and then you walk up to people playing a bracket match at High Rule or something, and you're like, what's going on? Oh, we decided to play at High Rule.
I say,
yeah, we had one gentleman's match, at least that I saw at Snosa. It was Janitor and Tacos on High Rule.
Well, I thought that was gonna be an exhibition match. Was that actually in bracket?
That was real.
Oh,
that was game 1. Janitor won, and then Tacos 5-stocked him on Dreamland.
I don't know.
That stage change.
Oh yeah, who's is it like Havasu that's started to do 19XX stages?
Yes.
Yeah, they just said it. We're gonna do it whenever our next season starts, so like middle to end of July.
Sick.
They left out Yoshi's. We're gonna do Yoshi's in Metal Cavern.
That seems odd to me. I mean, like you can. I hate it when people theory craft about stuff that you can just test. I don't know.
He was like, "Oh, the blast zones are small." It's like.
Yeah, that's what's sick about it.
And
Yeah, I feel that too.
So
people complain about the small blast zones. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like, well, wouldn't that make people who have bad recoveries better in a sense because everyone kind of recovers the same distance away because otherwise you're dead.
And Yoshi's has like every platform height.
Yeah.
Everyone has a perfect land somewhere.
Yeah. I love Yoshi's Without Clouds. Everyone hates on it so much, but I'm just like, man, play on it more, and it changes the game in a good way. It's still the same game, but it's a different stage, and that's what people are asking for.
I wish the floor was flat.
Yeah.
I wish the floor was flat.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I don't like about it.
Jorgasms was talking about. He was saying like, oh, once I reach this amount of money, I will look into adding new stages, and then someone donated like $130. Yeah. To get him, and he's like, I guess I'm looking at that now. So I think he's looking at Pokemon Stadium, Frozen, and if those of you that don't know what that's like, it's just like this.
Take off the top platform.
Yeah, basically, just take off the top platform.
It's usually like wider, and there's not as much. I don't know. And then one that I suggested that he seemed to like. Well, so the couple that I suggested that he at least replied to, and it's like those are good ideas or whatever. One is Yoshi's story in Melee, which has one weird thing about it is that these side platforms go on like past the ledge, so that if you jump up from there, you can just like the recovery is different. And then one other one was like WarioWare, which is like there's just platforms on platforms, which is boring. But I don't know. I think that's that could be really exciting, just because it's like it'd be so good to have these stages that change the game. Like when you play on Metal Cavern and like there's the tiny different angles of the bottom platform. Like you can do some crazy stuff with like Fox's down tilt, where if you're on an angle up, it will angle it up too, so you can hit them when they're like jumping and get like some really crazy combos off of that. And then likewise, if you're on the top platform and they're like it's an angle down, you can hit them before they really can get in on you. You know what I'm talking about at all?
Yeah.
I can draw it out if you like.
No. You're fine.
Great. Yeah.
No, and I think more stages is good for our general viewing audience. I don't know if it's necessarily good for gameplay, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're always going to have the issue of like you can't do it at a national, people can't prepare for it. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
it's funny that that argument gets brought up because, and I know this isn't very moral, but there's that Chinese knockoff of the EverDrives that are like $60-$70 going around right now, and you never know, EverDrives might drop in price in the sense where they're only $10-$20 more than a standard 64 cartridge, and a lot of tournaments might start supporting alternative stages or hack stages in that kind of sense. I mean, that's obviously far in advance, but you never know what could happen.
That's sick. You should post what that is because I don't know what the hell you're talking about at all. After I buy my EverDrive for like 100.
See, I've never used one, so I don't want to necessarily condone its use because I know you do have to stack another cart on top of it in the sense of a Game Shark.
Yeah.
I've heard that they work great, but I don't know if they freeze as often as Game Sharks because I mean, any sense of anything freezing, just any chance, just shouldn't be tournament legal in my eyes. Just like Game Sharks, you move that console a little bit, and sometimes they can just freeze right there.
Well, I feel like we've just talked about random ass stuff for the past half hour.
Probably.
Okay, guys, going forward. So I'm going on an adventure for 4 weeks. We will be broadcasting before then, but I don't know. My laptop cannot broadcast. I have to go to another place. Like, it's just not strong at all. We're going to be trying to figure out if we can do broadcasting, someone else streaming, or what. We'll try to
Can
figure
you
out
still Skype?
I should still be able to Skype.
If you can still Skype, I might be able to handle it on my end.
Okay, so we should, well,
If you want to still do it.
yeah. We should plan for trying to get this to work. But just keep that in mind. We'll still be talking about stuff leading up to SmashCon. And then hopefully some stuff during SmashCon, but we'll see where that goes. At any rate, let's wrap this up. Any last things you guys want to talk about? Comments?
I feel we've just kind of ranted.
Yeah, right?
Especially me.
You guys want to call anyone out? Tell anyone that they suck?
You?
Yeah,
Okay.
Manhoney.
There we go.
You?
That's fine. Manhoney is online, Jim. Manhoney isn't great. You haven't seen Jim.
All right, well, in that case, I have 2 people I want to say something.
Oh. Thanks for tuning in. God damn it. Bye, guys.